everybody, and welcome back to my thoughts on a show I haven't done since last month, I don't think. So we're gonna bring it on. Um, my thoughts on, and we're gonna talk about my thoughts on gatekeeping in the, Blu-ray collecting community, the collection community. Um, so I've been seeing a lot of this stuff, and I think uh our buddy mid-level media Ken kind of brought this up to a point where I want to talk about this. This is, he talked about on an off the cuff kind of show like this where he just talked about how he's sort of um you know he thinks that people are kind of getting burnt out from buying stuff that they blind buying and everything because sometimes the movies are good, sometimes the movies are bad, and you're getting burnt out from just getting them and not sure, like sometimes people bring back their collection. For me, I've talked about this before in my thoughts on, but my collection is very simple. I just collect. I don't have sometimes I collect boutiques, sometimes I collect movies like My Girl, which will be reviewed. You know, um, there are different things that I do, and so I myself am tired of people saying, "Oh, you're not a real collector because you don't do this," or "You're not a real collector because you don't have this movie in your collection." And you're not a real, you know what? F you to begin with, because nobody is allowed to tell anybody that they're not a real collector. If they collect, I say if you've collected more than like three movies, you're beginning of a collector, you know? And so don't ever let anybody tell you you're not a real collector. You're a real collector. Everybody's a real collector. There's no such thing as a fake collector. What does that fucking mean? Nobody fake collects anything, you know? So I am sick and tired of people, going on and on and on about, like telling people what to do, what not to do, and how to buy one, how to not buy one, what they should get, what they shouldn't get. 'Cause like the truth of the matter is they can get whatever they fucking feel like, you know? And I'm sorry for swearing. Try not to. But it's the truth. It's the truth. Stop gatekeeping in this community. Stop telling people what to buy or what not to buy. If someone wants to buy all Criterion film, that's it. Let them. Like that's not. Why is that even your problem? Why is that even your concern? And these comments have got to stop. We have got to stop like attacking people who do this stuff. This is fun for a lot of people. And after a while, I feel like it becomes less fun because the community starts to go in against each other, you know, um, and starts attacking one another about whatever they get. I don't care if certain, people are able to get movies for free. I would love that, you know, but I'm not going to get mad at them for getting those movies for free, you know? And I remember one guy getting attacked because he sold those movies he got for free. Excuse me, but you're allowed to do whatever you want with your own movies. You can sell them on eBay, sell them on the streets. You can sell them at a horror convention as long as you get all that, figured out, like do whatever you want to do. That's your movie. Even if somebody gave it to you, that's not disrespectful. If it doesn't fit in your collection and you have a specific collection, it's understandable. You don't have to give it away. You don't have to, you can sell it. You can do whatever you want with it. I don't understand these people that attack people because and go ahead, attack me about it. I don't give a crap. You can have your own opinions and you can go and say whatever you want. But the problem is all you're doing, you should be doing is making people want to keep doing the way they're doing. Cuz like I'm not going to listen to you. And a lot of other people aren't going to listen to you. I collect my idea and this is different from like I've got a partner for Indie Film Cafe, my co-host, Paul Presenza. he he's very specific on how he collects. He's got the stinky movies he collects, but then he also collects the really, really good movies. He does not like mediocre movies, he says, right? What he says is mediocre movies, I really enjoy, and I think they're great movies. But that doesn't mean, and those are the movies I'm going to still collect. Me personally, I'm not going to be that picky. I get everything, from the really good movies to the really bad movies to what people think are mediocre. And sometimes I don't even like the movies and I keep them. I might blind buy them and I'll keep them because my idea is I want to buy as many movies as I possibly can. I'm not gonna ever be able to buy all of them. Not even if I became a billionaire would I probably be able to buy every movie that ever existed. That's not possible, you know. But I'm gonna buy as many of them as I can, before the time that I eventually pass on, and then somebody else has to deal with all these, they can sell them, and I don't think there's any I'm gonna go bury into my grave with me. My pet monsters come into my grave with me. He's my buddy, but nobody else, nothing else is. And the truth is, I absolutely love collecting. And I don't want to see my collector friends feel burnt out or sad or angry because people in the comments are treating people like crap, you know, saying nasty things and saying you're not a real collector if you haven't seen, you know, Silence of the Lambs, which I have seen, but Silence of the Lambs. But like, what? Because I watch Silence of the Lambs, I am a true collector? No. I'm a true collector if I've collected anything. Yeah, I'm a true movie fan if I've seen movies I like. He also talked about how he rewatches movies, as a kid, would rewatch movies over and over again. And I used to do that. So I'm very well connected with it. And that's why I started rewatching reviews so I could rewatch a lot of these movies I used to watch over and over again as a kid. And I'm gonna probably continue doing that. And when we do the new rebrand in 2026, I think that show will continue. But man, I don't like this attitude. We have to change our attitudes. We're all collectors. If you collect anything in Blu-ray, DVD, or even DVD, some people now are just like, well, you're not a real collector because you collect DVDs. And I'm like, people can still collect DVDs and still be true collectors. I mean, they don't have to upgrade to the newest thing. It doesn't have to be a 4K now. You can't buy Blu-rays anymore. You have to buy nothing but 4K. No, it's BS. Buy whatever you want. I still buy DVDs and I do haul videos on them. Very happy with that. I'm just saying, I'm sick and tired of people commenting, you can't do this or you can't do that. Stop that. Stop that crap. I'm not saying you can't say that because then I'm being a gatekeeper to the gatekeeping. No, I'm saying, please try stopping that and just like let people enjoy what they collect. Or if they say, I haven't seen this movie, don't knock on them about it. There's some people that grew up not watching movies like this and they started doing it later in life. I remember that show, Tamara's Never Seen, that was on YouTube, and it was this girl, Tamara Chambers, who just went around and watched new movies to her, movies that we've seen. She might be like, "Oh, I haven't seen Jaws, so I'm gonna watch Jaws." Oh my God! And then she'd review it, and sort of tape herself watching it and stuff. That was cool. I think we should bring back more stuff like that. I'm not going to do it. I'm kind of doing it with rewatch and review, but that's like I'm rewatching something I've already seen. Um, but I do like my Blu-ray Hunter reviews. I do tend to watch movies that I haven't seen in my collection. And that's a main thing I did with that was I wanted to watch movies that I haven't seen in my collection and do it for a video because then I will watch that movie because sometimes I won't watch a movie unless I'm supposed to be reviewing it or I have to do it for like my rankings and stuff. Rankings are still going to stay. Those are a lot of fun. I enjoy it. That's one of my, if you haven't checked those out, those are some of my favorite shows that I've done where I rank and I don't review any of them, but I just rank the ones I've seen that month, the last month. So like I'll be doing one for October, right? And I'll basically rank all the ones as like, I'll start writing like 4 stars, 5 stars, whatever. And I'll bring them up and I'll say what are my favorites and stuff. One to eight or whatever it is. Most of the time it's 8 films. So I only get to watch 8 Blu-rays by and usually it's set toward the end. I'm like, oh crap, I need to start watching these movies. So I've been slacking. Um, I, and that's the thing. If I get to watch the movies, I really enjoy them. I enjoy just sitting down watching them, but then I feel like I need to review them because, like, I feel like I just wasted time watching something that I could have, been doing for content. Um, but anyway, go back to the gatekeeping. Just please, just, be nicer to people in the comments. Um, I'm not. I'm not here. I'm not. I used to get really mad and like yell at people for saying these things and stuff. And now I'm saying them here, but like I'm not gonna go in a comment section and tell somebody to F off or anything. Like, dudes, just be civil with each other. We're all going through a lot of shit right now. I don't care. I don't care who you are or whatever. Right now, like things are shut down, like life is crazy at the moment. We need to, you know, and I'm saying this was it on Sunday before the Thursday. So maybe things have changed by then, but I doubt it. All I'm going to say is if you're a fan of this channel and you're a fan of like shows like Mid-Level Media or Films by Color or any of the billion other shows, I'm just throwing a couple names out. Just be nicer to people, in the comments, because we're all collectors, generally. The people that are checking this out in the comments, I don't think they aren't collectors, you know. We are a community and we gotta just, I mean, I'm not saying we gotta love one another, but just, respect that everybody's different. And if I want to rewatch a movie I've seen a billion times over and over again, let me do that. If I want to watch something new, let me do that too. If I review something saying I've never seen it before, you don't have to get on there and tell me how much I suck for not watching it, until now. You know, like that's just silly, you know. We need to start really, really caring about one another and start putting more thought and focus into that. So anyway, that's it. I'm done. I've said my piece. So I'll be back with a brand new episode of this. My thoughts on maybe later. I don't know. We'll see. Until then, everybody, it'll be next month, I think. And I'm also going to LA. So things are going to be done ahead of time and already, scheduled for the first 2 weeks of November. So it's going to be a crazy time. Trust me. We already recorded one thing. We recorded the end of the month haul already and early. So we're getting things done as early as we can because I just want to already make sure everything is up and going. So until then, everybody, I hope you guys enjoyed this and I'll talk to you later. Bye.